Hello everybody, I'm Corelli. Welcome to my channel, or to my Instagram, wherever you're watching. Γεια σας, είμαι η Κατερίνα Corelli, καλώς ήρθες στο κανάλι μου. On my right hand, there is a burn from poison ivy. I didn't get a burn from poison ivy for like 5 years. The first and only one that I got was in my first year here in the United States, in Kentucky, in the year 2019, and ever since then I didn't have a single friggin' burn, but now I got it. Damn it. Well, it's almost gone at this point. We're doing much better. So, the name of this painting is Blue Lights. I'm painting my friend from Greece, Leonidas is his name. And I think it's a very vibey kind of shot of him, and I just wanted to amplify these vibes. I guess he's sitting somewhere in a street cafe or something like that, and it's evening or night even. I thought it would be an interesting little painting, exactly because of the vibe, the lights. Well, when I get to the lights, you'll start to see that, but also because of his pose. It's almost like he's startled, or maybe he's not startled, or maybe he's just in deep thought, or maybe he's looking at something, but there's something very ambivalent in his body language, and I like it. Quite frankly, I want to paint more of this kind of work, really, when it is not immediately obvious what exactly is going on here. I like it. I like it. And I actually strongly believe that art should be suggestive. But well, this is my subjective view, of course, and this is how I see things as far as my approach to art. I like to keep it suggestive, not necessarily explicit, not necessarily in your face. And I like to keep it that way with music too. And I had someone recently ask me, what is your song about? And I refused to explain that because I want to leave interpretations to the listener. And I think I want to apply that same kind of thing to my painting. I don't really want to explain what necessarily is going on. I want the viewer to draw their own conclusions and to think about it, to feel it. Mostly even, to feel it first and then to kind of let that feeling sink, and from there on to give it some thought. I think, generally speaking, this is not just about my art, this is about art in general. I think art should be evocative. And if it fails to do so, it is just decoration. You can agree, you can disagree, that's my opinion. That's my subjective opinion. I have this belief, this deep core belief, that art should elevate humans. That it plays a very important role in our lives. And by the way, it doesn't matter who do you consider yourself to be, because, you might consider yourself to be an art lover, and you're really into this kind of stuff, and you admire artwork, whatever the style is of painting. It might be classical art, it might be modern art, whatever. But you don't necessarily have to be, because we are actually surrounded by all sorts of things created by artists. And without the work of artists, the world would look pretty bleak, I think. Every bit of design, even on like consumer products and this kind of stuff, some artist, some designer somewhere made it happen. Someone was sitting there and figuring out the right colors. Someone was figuring out the right colors for your car. And the design for your car. I mean, there was an artist behind that. Art is everywhere, frankly. And, but, okay, you can say, well, this is not really art, designing cars. It's a different kind of thing. It's not really what we call art, right? But I think that there is demand for art. It's just that it is not always obvious. Certainly there is a category of people, like I said, who are proactive in their admiration of art, be that classical art or modern art. And then there is the general public, and there are people who might feel the need for art at certain points in life. People go through happy moments in their life. People fall in love. People experience grief. People experience loss. And I remember someone way back when I was a teenager once said that the job of a musician is to entertain people, is to bring them joy and accompany them when they grieve. And in a sense, I think that in a nutshell, this is a very accurate statement. And also some people, not everybody, but some people, under certain circumstances, go into soul searching, or they feel the need for something that transcends the day-to-day mundane, and then they go on spiritual quests, or on a quest of self-growth, or self-refinement, or self-betterment, or something to that effect. And this is when art starts to play a significant role in their lives. It might be in the form of music, it might be in the form of visual arts, it might be sculpture, it might be something. But this is when it becomes really important. This is when all of a sudden you want to watch that movie, because a movie, for example, or you look at a painting and it hits home with you, and you're at a crucial juncture in your life and you want to have that painting, or you listen to a song or to a classical piece of music and it stirs up something deep and very important and eternal in your being. I think under the right circumstances, a lot of people need art. And this is why, on a fundamental level, I believe that art should be evocative. It should give food to the soul, not just to the eye or to the ear. It should give nourishment and food to the soul. For those who are undisturbed, it should be disturbing sometimes, and for those who are disturbed, it should provide the kind of peace that they might be looking for. And that's my view. I know that there's a whole lot of artists out there, and everybody has their own view of what art is and what is it for. And I believe that a lot of people who are not artists at all, they might have their own perception, and they probably do have their own perception, looking at these things from outside. And there is going to be a million interpretations. There's going to be a million of reactions to a certain piece of art, or what art even means. And that's fine. I kind of like it this way, and I want to leave it this way. Here is the finished painting. And, well, on this positive note, I think I'll wrap up this episode. Thank you very much for being with me. And until next time, ciao. Oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like my content, apparently. And if you want to see more content, I have content which is created specifically for members. So become a member and you will get access to all and everything that I have on this channel. Okay, now I can say have a wonderful day, and you'll hear me next time. Ciao.